Well, hello, planner and journal babes, and welcome to Organized Planner Chic. I'm Lucinda, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so and select the bell for notifications and consider joining as a member. To join, just go to my channel page and select the join button. All right, you guys, so for today, we are going to be looking at my March bullet journal setup in my traveler's notebook, and we're going to do a quick kind of look at the traveler's notebook I'm using and what I did to set up for the year, because it's the end of February and I was really late in getting everything set up for really tracking and planning this year. I had a lot of things going on. You guys know what that's like. Okay, so this is a Dollar Tree traveler's notebook. It is not a recent one. In fact, I haven't seen any in a while, but I have every single one of the ones that they have put out there in the past. This is one of my favorite ones. It's an A6 size, which is kind of my favorite for traveler's notebook bullet journaling and having something that I can take with me on the go, but really get a lot of information put inside of there. And so I really like this pink design. Of course, I think the quality of the Dollar Tree traveler's notebooks are really good. I like the grommets. They have good thick elastic bands, and I just really like them. You guys hear my bones cracking. Oh my gosh, that's an issue. Okay, and then this was a Dollar Tree barrette that I actually turned into a little dangle decor piece there. I used a hook and ring that I got from a set from Michael's years ago, or maybe Hobby Lobby, and I just turned this into that, and I thought it would be really cute. And then I did a DIY pin loop. I've done multiple pin loops and videos before. You guys can check that out. I'll put in the description below a video on DIY pin loop ideas. This one is duct tape that I just folded duct tape over in half so that nothing would be sticky, and then I just stapled it to the traveler's notebook, and then I just put some washi tape. I actually used a glue stick to make sure that this would stick really well, and then the other side of the stapling, I did the very same thing, and you can kind of see right there where the duct tape is on the inside. Yeah, and then this is my absolute favorite 0.5 writing pen now. You guys know I change favorite writing pens all the time, but this one's been my favorite for a while. Is the Uniball Signo and 0.5, and I absolutely love this pen. You know, sometimes pens, they say they're a 0.5 and they just are not a 0.5. They're just not, okay? And you guys will see some of the writing in here with this pen and see that it really is a 0.5. And this pen loop just works so perfect. What I love about having the pen loop in this way is that you can just close it right here without wrapping it around the pen, you know, and then the pen stays secure. Because the other way, when you close it with other pens, well, actually, it doesn't do bad here, but you know, sometimes it'll just get all stuck in the inside and it's kind of tilted and hanging out weird. I know that's not a big deal, but I like that it's secure whether it's wrapped around on the outside or not. And so, yeah. So here we go. You know, the typical Dollar Tree traveler's notebook on the inside has that sort of faux, I don't know what this is. You know how it sounds. But I didn't do it this time because I have a lot of craft folders, but I've made some pockets, clear pockets to go in here, just using like sheet protectors or plastic from crafting and journaling things that I've gotten, and double-sided tape, and they have held for years. Yeah, so I really love these. Can I say that enough times? Okay, and then here I have a craft folder. This is one side. I bought these years ago from not Michael's, from Walmart, and they came in a set, I think, of two. And I really like these. It's been probably at least 5 years that I've had these. And so that's the craft folder. And I decided, and you'll see here in the bullet journal portion here, kind of why I have these, but I decided to keep in a couple of different places some sticky pads for when I want to add notes, and you'll see why. We'll talk about that in a minute. So here is the first insert. I have two inserts that I expect to use in 2025 for my traveler's notebook bullet journal. They both came from Dollar Tree. This one was a separate book. You know, sometimes I'll have little books that are this size that maybe they come in a set of 2 or 3. Sometimes they're individual, and I apologize for the glare, you guys. I didn't notice that. And So this one did not come with this traveler's notebook, but it is the same size, and I really like the design. It's very, very beautiful, perfect for spring, which we are about to enter. And yeah, so you'll see the other one did come with the traveler's notebook, because the Dollar Tree traveler's notebooks come with two lined inserts normally. So yeah, so that's that insert, and then got my index. And since I just started in March, then I'm just starting in March, and here I do have the future log, as you can see. And then I broke down, and I'm going to do this for each month, kind of the individual pages that are within the month. And so I don't really have yearly collections in here. I've decided to do them monthly. I have a lot of health things that I need to track. And so it's a good for me to be able to review during the month and just see it all together at the end of each month. And so I have March, and then I have the pain management. You'll see those as we get into them. Physical therapy and activities, exercise, the monthly calendar, and the weekly pages. And then we'll talk about what I think I want to do if I want to have any sort of daily stuff. So we'll see that here in a second. And this is how that 0.5 pen looks, and it's lovely and it writes really, really nicely. Okay, and so here we've got my future log. I used a stamp that I got in a set from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby, might have been Michael's, can't remember now, several years ago. And so I just stamped each month, and I put what I knew so far for the year in here, and I did little doodles just with ballpoint pen. I have all these well, this is a stamp, and then I use some markers in it. So I have all these different colored ballpoint pens that I feel like I don't use enough. And so I thought I will just draw a little doodle for all of my, what is this, y'all? For all of my future log. So that's what I did. Just some different little doodles there using ballpoint pen. And I like the way they turned out, except for this one, because, well, I just don't like it. Okay, and so then that comes to the end of the future log. And then we come into the first month, which is not January. It is March, because I just started doing this. Okay, so I kind of use this as the bookmark. And I have the index, so I don't really need to have any bookmarks. But it's just so beautiful. I think I made this several years ago. And I used, can you guess what this is? It's from a tissue box. Yes, you guys, tissue boxes now, they make them so pretty. I guess they pretty much have always made them pretty, but I when I find really pretty ones, even if I'm at a friend's house, I'm like, hey, when you finish with that tissue, can I have that box? Because they just make such beautiful crafting things. So I just cut this in multiple pieces to make a pocket. And this was glued all the way around before, but the glue that actually was double-sided tape, and it was still holding, but it was popping up a little, and I didn't want to worry about it. So I just went ahead and stapled it. I can cover it with washi tape later. And then I just cut down a Dollar Tree prayer card so that it would fit in this pocket perfectly, and rounded the corners, and I really like it. Of course, I punched a hole at the top and put some Dollar Tree ribbon, tied it on there, and it just looks so lovely. I think it looks really good, from the outside of the cover, the way it was, as you saw when I first started the video. So I love that. And I just decided to keep some more stickies here. So we'll talk about that in a second, as to what these little stickies and these little note things are for. And that's the back of this card. This was from a restaurant, and I can't remember. I think it's called Wildflower. They're little bags that they put pastries and things like that in. I got from someone when we went to eat, because I don't usually eat those things, but I really like the design, and I cut it and yeah, made this on the back. So yeah. So that is the bookmark. And then we come to my title page. So the colors, I usually try to pick out 2 or 3 colors, usually 3, sort of as the theme colors for the month. And this month it is green, different shades of green, blue, and yellow. And so I just drew this, or wrote this freehand, the word March, and then colored in. I used some double tip markers, brush markers from Amazon, which are in my Amazon store, which is linked in the description. They were very inexpensive, and there's a whole bunch in there. And so that's what I used to sort of do this different design here with those colors. And all of the marker actually in here is from that set. And then I just drew in the flowers and colored those. This stamp is from that same stamp set that I got from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby that I mentioned earlier that I can't remember. And that I just stamped it on there, and I'm going to put in goals. No more than 6, y'all. Now 6 sometimes I think is even a lot, but that will include personal, health, financial, business. So I think that's a fair number when you consider those categories, as long as you don't try to do more than you know you can. Like if you've got a crazy month or you're traveling half the month, like in May, I'm going to be traveling half the month. I'm not going to have 6 goals that cover any areas. Okay. But no more than that. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable number. And then I just freehanded these, this little design. It's just brush pen and ink. And I actually use this pen, that same Uniball Signo, to outline everything. You know, it's not a permanent, I mean, it is permanent ink, but it's not archival ink. So it's not the kind of pen that you should use for any type of art if you want it to last for forever. But I really love the pen, so I just tend to use it. Even though I can be using other pens. Now, if I'm drawing something that I do for sure want to last, that I'm going to frame, etc., then I will not use that pen. All right, and then in the inside, so part of why this is all blue is because I colored kind of too hard and went over some of the dark colors in here, marking because this paper is not paper that's not going to bleed through if you do that. So I decided to just get a really thin piece of Dollar Tree. You know, the Dollar Tree books that have the different colored paper? There's just plain paper, but it's like a tablet about this big, and it's plain paper, no lines, and they're all different colors. Some of them are more pastel and some of them are darker colors. So that's what I used, is a couple of sheets from that. I do like that paper a lot. And then I just drew the lines, you know, with the ruler. And this section is for pain management. I do have several health issues that I have to manage that involve pain. And so I just wrote 1 through 16 here and went through to 31 here. The train's coming. Can you guys hear it? And then I put a place to just put a little summary there for the month. Just kind of an overall outlook of how this month was, right? And so I have the first category or section is date. And then, y'all, I'm blind, I can't even see what I wrote. Area or areas of my body. And then rate the pain from 1 to 10, what I did to treat that pain, and kind of what was my body's response. And so then I have that for my pain management team, and just, you know, and managing my health overall. And I think it's a really good way, you know, when you go to the doctor and you're like, and they say, well, how many times this week do you feel like you were at a pain level that you couldn't really do what you needed to do? And you're like, oh, I think it was maybe, you know, and this way I know, I can tell you exactly. Yeah. And then this next section, even though I bled a little bit when I did the numbers here on the calendar, I decided not to use any other paper on top because I want to be able to use this everywhere I go. I want it to be my everyday carry that doesn't get too heavy over time. So I don't want to treat it like a typical journal where I'm doing a lot of washi tape and pasting and gluing and stapling a lot. I want to do some, but not a lot, because I want to be able to carry this throughout, hopefully, the year. Because I want to be able to track things all the time and then reference if I'm at the doctor's or if I'm on the phone and I'm not at home, etc. And so I want to avoid putting too many layers in here if I can, and just do more sketching and doodling, that kind of thing, using colored pencils, using markers, using ballpoint pen, etc. And so then in here, this section is physical therapy and activity. So basically it is for both physical therapy that I did that day and any other exercise I did, walking, working in the garden, etc., etc. So I just left that all, you know, I didn't put different categories or columns for that. I just felt I should just describe what I did that day, write each thing as I do it, for that to try to maintain my health. And then we go to the monthly spread. So remember I said I don't want to do too many things like this. However, These butterflies, which are from Dollar Tree, which I love so much. I love these, y'all. I love the feeling of just doing this. It's just exciting to me. What I love about it is it does not have any, they don't have any mounting squares at all. They're flat, other than they're just sort of bent, however they did it, so it kind of looks 3D. But when you close it, it closes completely flat. And so it doesn't make my journal too thick. And then also this, I did a short, I'll link for you guys, on these butterflies, and it was a hack. And so I'll link that and you can watch that. It's basically just a Dollar Tree hack with Dollar Tree eyeshadow and sponge brushes from Dollar Tree, and stencil also from Dollar Tree. And I like the way it turned out. So you guys can see that to see how I did it. And then I just drew my lines, and I feel like this size, this A6 size from Dollar Tree, this insert, whether it was from somewhere else or not, with the lines, is perfect for setting up a calendar. You can easily have perfectly 3 lines, 3 sections with the header the way it's designed for each day of the week to write in whatever you need to. And I love that. And so again, my theme with the colors, the green, yellow, and blues is basically flowers. And so I just did, a flower kind of peeking out there, and a blue. And then I put a little column here for notes. There have been times in the past where I've kind of tried to use this whole section for notes, but then I didn't really use them because, I tend to put notes in the other sections. And if I'm putting any notes here, it's not that much, just things I need to think about or make sure I include in the calendar for the following month, that kind of thing. So I just left a smaller section for notes. I feel like I'll use it. I just don't feel like I would use all of the space for it. And so then we come into the weekly spread, and I'm loving how this turned out, you guys. So I used a stamp. This is a different stamp, and I believe I got this stamp set with the days of the week from Dollar Tree. You guys, sometimes these days, Dollar Tree has amazing stamps. Amazing. I have every one. I think when they come out with a new one, I get it. Because remember, they used to have the same ones all the time. And every time I would check, I'd be like, when is Dollar Tree going to come out with some new stamps? And now, don't get me wrong, they're not constantly coming out with new ones, but they do periodically, and when they do, they're good ones. So I'm really grateful for that because it's in my budget. So I stamped all those. I just outlined them with those same brush markers that has the brush on one end and the fine tip on the other end. And then I doodled in the flowers, and I added a little bit of pink this time. I felt like it needed a little more color, that it was, I don't know, it seemed a little mundane without 3 colors in here, which I don't know, that makes no sense, does it? Because it's supposed to be blue, yellow, and green. Oh, I think it's because there is a such thing as a green flower, but I really prefer a flower with another color most of the time, and so I felt like it needed another color instead of a green flower, and that allowed me to put these little check mark boxes green. Now I could have made those pink, but I think I like the way that it turned out. And so then I put a column in here because I need to do this for health purposes, to write down what I've eaten, or what I eat. I can pencil in what I plan to eat, but what I eat each day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and if I have any snack, and based on what that is, what was my food intake for calcium, and then what supplement I took. Because if I get enough of my daily intake by the time it's dinner, I might only take one of the 2 pills that I'm supposed to take. So I did that for each day. Now, you could chart that differently. You could have a collection somewhere else that does it for each day, but I prefer to see it through the week because I really need to assess that on a weekly basis. And so I did that everywhere. And then here you can see on Sunday, I just put sort of a joint flower between Saturday and Sunday. And generally speaking, I only do like one thing on Saturday. If I go somewhere on a Saturday or do something outside of my home on a Saturday, it's one thing. And I go to church every Sunday, and I might do certain activities right after that, and I can put that on that same line. And I forgot to add this, so I need to put the calcium food and supplements on here as well. And so that is for the weekly. And then what I decided to do, because I was thinking, well, what if I want to take some additional notes? I really didn't allow for that, because I could do like daily pages behind here if I wanted to, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need to do that for every day. And I do want to be able to use both of my inserts, which I'll show you the other one in a moment, for the year. So what I decided to do was have those sticky tabs. You know, I have this little green one, I have these pink ones that I can put on the weekly spread if I don't have room. So typically, you know, I'm usually not going to use all of this space to write down what I need to do every day. Some days I will, especially if I have an appointment away from home, then I'm going to write out the address that I'm going to. So sometimes I have enough room in here to write some notes. But if I really need to write a good note, that's not going to be enough room. So I'll use the sticky tab, either the short one if I don't have that much, or the longer one, because this is a nice long one that I can put in here. And I can, you know, it's not going to stay permanently. The sticky tabs usually aren't sticky enough to do that, but I could tape it in here and still be able to flip it open, you know, like it would be if it was a Dutch door. But I think I might consider some weeks, depending on what I have going on, to actually add a Dutch door for those weeks in between. And maybe I'll just kind of do it a little bit here and there, or maybe I'll do it next week and see how much did I use it. Do I feel like I should do that and lose a page if I really didn't need it? Because I could also put that sticky tab right in the center right here too and tape it, you know, let it stick during the week, and then when I'm done with that week, just tape it with clear tape here so that I can still read what I had there before if I need to reference it. Yeah. And so that's that insert. And then I have pockets, you know, the other pocket. This really needs to go on my purse. And then here I just have a little chart for calcium foods and how much adds up to what you need for a daily allowance. And I can put other things like that in these pockets. And then this is a craft folder I made a long time ago, and so I can put stuff in there. I really do love this paper design. And then this is the Dollar Tree insert that came with the Traveler's Notebook, but I covered it because, you know, it was just like that craft paper type cover. And so I covered it with some craft paper I got from a pad from Michael's a long time ago. And it really makes it strong that way too. And then this, oh, I wrote something in here a long time ago, but there's nothing else in here. So that'll be for the second half of the year. And then the other craft folder. And then that is it, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps with that algorithm to recommend my videos. And so also I want to thank my awesome members from my channel, Lucille Theory and Ryan McMurray. And if you're interested in becoming a channel member, just go to my page and click join. All right, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Take care of your body. We only have one. Take care of your mind and your spirit. You know, God is with us, and I am praying for you, and please pray for me as well. And until next time, everyone, happy planning.